You may proceed when ready, Senator.
Thank you, Chair and members. I'm here to present SB483 this morning, a bill prohibiting prone restraint, a technique that physically or mechanically restrains students in a face-down position in all California schools. California law currently allows prone restraint to be used in schools by trained personnel and stipulates that the student's hands can't be held behind their back. Staff must also observe the pupil for any signs of physical distress throughout its use. Even with those safeguards, this technique is still one of the most dangerous restraints used in schools because it restricts the student's airway and has the potential to be fatal. Despite the U.S. Department of Education recommending its elimination, prone restraint is unfortunately still in practice in some states, including California. According to the California Department of Education data attained from Assemblymember Weber's passage of AB 2657, in the 2022-2023 school year, California schools use physical restraints on students 6,785 times. Though just 14% of the student population, students with disabilities, endured 95.5% of those physical restraints. Moreover, prone restraints are applied at a higher rate against black students, according to findings by the Sacramento Bee. SB 483 seeks to prohibit the use of prone restraint in California and join the more than 30 other states that have taken the necessary steps to protect children from the dangers of this technique. In 2018, 13-year-old Max Benson tragically passed away at an El Dorado Hills school after being held in prone restraint for an hour. We're honored to be joined here today by Max's mother. As a parent, and as parents, many of us, it's very, very difficult to imagine what she's gone through. Your vote today will honor Max's memory, of course, but more importantly, perhaps help ensure that similar tragedies never occur again. With us today, we have Stacie Langley, Max Benson's mother. Additionally, here as a technical witness is Dr. Millar Tomino, who's the co-founder and principal at Portview Preparatory. Thank you, Mr. Chair. And senators, I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator. Ms. Langley, please come forward and welcome. And please come to the table. No, to the table. We're glad to have you here today. Welcome.
Thanks for having me here.
Thank you.
I think you have to hit the button on the microphone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's on? Very good.
I have a tiny voice, and if I try to force it, I'll sound like a goose. So forgive me. My name is Stacie Langley. I have lived in Davis most of my life, and I graduated from UC Davis. My children attended the public schools there. I am here to express my strong support for SB 483 because my son, Max, cannot. In 2018, he was killed by a teacher who put him in a prone restraint. His classmates watched while the life drained out of him for over the course of 30 or 40 minutes, I think. It's impossible to adequately describe what it's like to lose a child, especially when you know that they died a slow, painful, and terrifying death at the hands of somebody who was supposed to educate and care for him. Max was a bright and hilarious kid. He could do more than light up a room. He lit up our entire lives. Every member of our family struggles daily with the darkness created by his absence. If this bill had been enacted and enforced in the fall of 2018, Max would be alive today. Prone restraint is barbaric and deadly, and I have no doubt that the next young victim is sitting in a California classroom this morning, and I urge everyone to help save that child's life by supporting SB 483.
Thank you. I'm sorry for your loss. Dr. Tomino, anything to add?
Chair and Senators, I am Dr. Millar Erickson-Tomino, and I'm a board-certified behavior analyst and clinical psychologist. I have served students with disabilities for 25 years and serve as the co-founder and principal at Portview Preparatory, a non-public school that serves over 50 California school districts who rely on us to educate their students who demonstrate the most severe challenging behaviors and who require significant services and supports. My partner, Dr. Edward Miguel, and I have never allowed the use of prone restraints at Portview, as we saw firsthand how dangerous these techniques are and recognize that educators have an ethical obligation to implement evidence-based interventions. Prone restraint is not supported by peer-reviewed research and has no therapeutic benefit. Over the years, in educational settings where prone restraint is utilized, we have seen tragedy after tragedy occur due to an over-reliance on restraint rather than intervention, forced compliance rather than understanding, and outdated responses rather than expertise. Allowing prone restraint creates a culture that promotes a power differential where prone restraint becomes the first and only intervention used. Even when performed by trained personnel, it is often still done incorrectly and dangerously. Not only does prone restraint pose serious risks to our students, it is also overutilized with students with disabilities, and in a state that promotes diversity and equality, educators are disproportionately restraining students of color, especially Black students. 37 states have banned prone restraint. California has not. The risks of not adopting this bill are too great. I urge you to imagine your child, niece, nephew, or grandchild. Imagine them heading off to school. Now imagine them laying face down. Their last words, "I can't breathe." Their bedroom empty, as they will never return. California can do better. Let's not lose another life. Please keep our students safe and pass SB 483. Thank you, Senator Cortese, for this very important legislation.
And thank you for your testimony. Is anybody here in the witness room who would like to testify in support of the measure? If so, please come forward. And ask you to state your name, your organization, your position.
Nicole Wortelman on behalf of the Children's Partnership and Support.
Thank you, Ms. Wortelman.
Eric Harris with Disability Rights California, strong support and sponsor of the bill.
Thank you. Next.
Good morning, Rachel Bogwit on behalf of ACLU California Action in support of this bill.
Thank you.
Jimmy Fremgen on behalf of Respectability. We're a national disability nonprofit and we're in support.
Thank you.
Jennifer Abinat. I'm a friend of the family and an advocate, and I'm in support of this bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Brendan White. I am also a neighbor and a friend of the Langleys and Max Benson, here in support of this bill.
Thank you, sir.
Dustin Collier, founding partner of civil rights law firm Collier Sucks, LLP, and attorney for the Langley family, here in strong support for this bill.
Thank you.
Elizabeth Millay, partner at Collier Socks, civil rights law firm, strong support of this bill, also a friend of the Langley family.
Thank you. Anybody else new? Is anybody here like to testify in opposition to the measure? Seeing none, let's bring it back to the committee. Any questions or comments from the committee? Got a motion from Senator Glazer. I'm sorry, Senator Small-Cuevas, please.
I just wanted to say to the two witnesses and experts today, thank you so much for your courage, for your story, and sharing that experience to educate others. It was very moving and also shed some real detail on the impacts of this practice. So thank you so much for being here.
And let me add to the friends of the family who came out today. Thank you. Not an easy thing to do. We have a motion. Do we have a motion?
Oh, yes, Senator Archuleta.
Oh, I'm sorry. I really did miss it. Did Senator Glazer, you move the bill? I apologize. A motion from Senator Glazer. Senator Cortese, would you like to close?
Yes, Mr. Chair. First of all, again, just to thank the witnesses, Ms. Langley, for her courage on behalf of millions, literally millions of students currently and those to come in future generations, to stand up and speak, to come here to the committee with such moving testimony, as one of my colleagues just said, is beyond admirable. Thank you for that. And although Ms. Langley wasn't the source of the bill idea, all of us here as senators kind of refer to how these things start sometimes as bill ideas. It was an activist member of the disability community in my own district who asked me to meet with him at a Starbucks one day and began to recount what happened to him. He survived what would otherwise be a similar episode. As you might imagine, his own testimony to me that day as he in fits and starts, tried to present what he wanted to see happen, was itself very, very emotional and quite moving. And I think any of my colleagues here would have done what I did and quickly accept the responsibility for bringing the bill forward. So with that, I would respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, we have a motion. Senator Glazer, please call the roll.
File item 5, SB483 Cortese. Motion is due past to Appropriations Committee. Newman.
Aye.
Newman, aye. Wilk.
Aye.
Wilk, aye. Cortese. Cortese, aye. Glazer. Glazer, aye. Grove. Grove, aye. Laird. Laird, aye. Smallwood Cuevas. Smallwood Cuevas, aye.
Well, that bill is out 6 votes to 0. And let us now, I'm sorry, 7 votes to 0. Thank you. And I think we have a couple of open votes, or at least one. So, Madam Clerk, on any open measures, if you could please identify the bill and call the roll.